Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Swallowed Star based on novel. So let's start. All 99 bodies of Sector Beast Marosa flew toward different directions quickly. Their speed surged, and it completely surpassed the limit of universe ocean. However, the endless chains formed a miniature universe, sealing off the area around the Sector Beast. All of a sudden, those bodies kept hitting the membrane of the chain universe. The membrane was formed by the intertwining of levels of chains, and the clash made a sound like clashing metal. Howl. 98 of the 99 bodies disappeared, concentrating and forming the golden Sector Beast Marosa. Marosa looked around and saw the miniature universe formed by chains, suddenly realizing it couldn't get out of it. Asterisk 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 asterisk. Luo Feng saw that he had trapped Sector Beast Marosa with this move, and he felt relieved. He had separated his 3 bodies into 2 teams, and this team wasn't as well prepared as the other one. The Sector Beast had performed the same escape technique as it had back when it had killed Firefly True Master, so Luo Feng had prepared for it. As for the other team, they had Shi Wu Wing, so they could perform techniques like One Thought Void Space and other combinations. They were more powerful. As for this team, it was relatively weaker. Luo Feng only had 1 spiritual weapon machine type valuable, by Yang Chain to perform the technique Universe Chain. This was the evolved move of the inherited technique I Am the Universe he'd had before. Plus, it was performed through a machine type valuable, making it even more powerful. He also had a domain machine type valuable, Snowy World, to suppress the Sector Beast. Even if true gods like 9-headed Devil Master were trapped by me, they couldn't get out of this chain universe, Luo Feng thought. Inside the chain universe, Sector Beast Marosa took a look around. The membrane in the distance was formed by countless chains, and there was a snowy world out there, empowering the whole thing. It was solid. Haha. Milky Way Horde leader, Sector Beast Marosa, who was trapped inside, guffawed. Do you really think you can trap me? You are already trapped by me right now, Sector Beast, rumbled a voice through the entire chain universe. If you really have the power to escape, then perform it. I can take it. Unfortunately, you can't. Sector Beast Marosa suddenly roared ferociously, and its entire body turned into dark light. Its speed surged, and gleaming, dark light slashed through space, hitting the chain universe membrane in the distance. The countless intertwining chains were hit, and the entire chain universe started to tremble. The snowy world outside the chain universe was trying to solidify the chain world. Sector Beast Marosa was shocked and had to step back. It looked at the chain universe membrane, dazed. It had used 99 bodies to hit the membrane before, so the power wasn't strong enough. Just now, it had gathered all of its body to hit it, which could rival the supreme attacks of great beings like 9-headed Devil Master. I failed. You won't be able to run away, the rumbling voice echoed through the entire chain universe. Impossible. Sector Beast Marosa roared. It then turned into a black streak of light and hit the membrane again. It kept hitting the membrane universe. Sector Beast Marosa had already gone insane. It kept crashing into the chain universe, making the entire miniature universe shake, and the snowy world outside kept giving power to the chain universe. The crashing is so powerful. Outside, Luo Feng was intimidated as well. That Sector Beast Marosa is just like inborn beast gods. Every one of their moves has mysteries in it. The crashing seems to be simple, but it is actually more intricate than my techniques. Luo Feng knew that his techniques were elegant and complicated, and they could or many great beings. But they were at a lower level. The strongest technique he had created was level 8. As for true gods, those who were above average were able to create techniques at level 8. As for those like Divine Eye True Master, they were able to create techniques at top tier level 9. That was the fundamental difference between universe masters and true gods. And perhaps it was the same thing for Sector Beasts. It might have never studied any techniques, but it could naturally wield mysterious techniques. However, with the combination of chain universe and the snowy world outside, it won't be able to escape the double suppression. Luo Feng kept burning his godly power at level 3, controlling by Yang Chain and the snowy world, the two machine-type valuables. Smaller, smaller, smaller. The entire chain universe was getting smaller under the control of Luo Feng. At the same time, a silver spaceship appeared beside him. It immediately bulged. As long as my supreme true treasure palace is large enough and swallows the entire chain universe, then that sector beast won't be able to escape it. Just as Luo Feng outside the chain universe was taking out the silver spaceship, sector beast Marosa inside the chain universe started to roar, "Milky Way Horde leader, are you trying to trap me into that spaceship?" "You can tell," Luo Feng said. He couldn't help being surprised. The sector beast was trapped inside the chain universe, and the space and time around it were enveloped by his snowy world. The sector beast shouldn't have been able to see it. "Haha. You're using godly power, but my power is exactly the opposite of your power. Don't think that I am you. You want to trap me? Ha ha ha." Sector beast Marosa had failed at crashing through the chain universe, but instead of giving up, it guffawed. "You should be proud because you're forcing me to reveal my original body." All of a sudden, a black mist permeated around Sector Marosa. Then its appearance quickly changed from the golden giant being to an ugly monster that was dark and black. It had a pair of hands and feet and was naked. It had two heads at the front and back, and there was a single eye on each of its heads, along with a nose and a mouth, but there were no ears or eyebrows. It stood in space, emitting an evil aura. Break. Sector beast Marosa suddenly turned both of its heads to the same side. Originally, one of the heads was facing the front while the other faced the back, but now, the head facing the back turned to face the front. There was gleaming, dark light bursting out of the sector beast's ugly body. The black light immediately concentrated and turned into a streak of bloody light. That gleaming, bloody light entered the eyes of the two heads of that sector beast. Both of the soul eyes produced a beam of red light. The light was so fast that it was as if it were teleporting. It immediately reached the membrane of the chain universe. There was a rumbling sound. The countless chains intertwining with each other suddenly crumbled, and the entire chain universe disappeared. Bai Yang chain also bounced away, then turned around and floated above Luo Feng. The sector beast Marosa had already traveled far. "Want to get away?" Luo Feng couldn't help but feel shocked by the move that the sector beast had used to break the chain universe, but he stopped thinking about it. Freeze. Luo Feng's eyes were like lightning, and they gazed at the sector beast Marosa. Sector beast Marosa had immediately started to flee after escape the chain universe, but suddenly, a giant godly eye showed up in front of it, in the space in the distance. An invisible but terrific shock of willpower arrived and enveloped it, striking relentlessly. "Ah!" Sector beast Marosa howled in pain. It had been a long time. It hadn't felt such pain for a long time, and it was just as painful as the last time it had been injured by Bai Di. Last time, it had been severely injured, and Illusion Heart True God and I Devil God had reached the nest of sector beasts. That had been when Marosa had decided to leave the nest of the sector beasts. It hadn't expected to suffer from such pain again, let alone in Universe Ocean. "You've infuriated me," sector beast Marosa yelled furiously. "Howl." After roaring, it shot a trace of black light out of his mouth, striking Luo Feng directly. It hit Luo Feng's body. The two energies were consuming each other. It had used the same move when it had killed Firefly True Master. The leftover body would be quickly swallowed and would die. However, Luo Feng's godly body was 100 million kilometers tall, so he had abundant godly power. Luo Feng didn't care much about godly power being mutually consumed, but he was indeed surprised by the attack from sector beast Marosa. What? It can still make attacks at full strength. Divine Eye Secret Technique was one of Luo Feng's trump cards. If he had Wu Qi God, She Wu Wing, Star Tower, and others with him, he would have some other trump cards. However, with Golden Horned Beast, which only carried some machine-type valuables, Divine Eye Secret Technique was the only trump card he had. And with that secret technique, Luo Feng was invincible in Universe Ocean. Ever since his willpower had reached the level of an eternal true god, he had already finished the 6th volume of Divine Eye Secret Technique. Against that technique, even those at the true god of void space level would faint. Only those who had reached the level of pinnacle true gods of void space could stay conscious, but their power could be significantly reduced as well, which was why Divine Eye True Master and the others all treated Luo Feng as their leader. He hadn't expected this sector beast to be able to attack at full strength even under the attack of his Divine Eye technique. Its willpower resistance is stronger than that of Divine Eye True Master, Luo Feng thought. His godly body is still intact. Sector beast Marosa kept yelling in agony. It kept putting out the black light, trying to consume Luo Feng's body, but he found out that Luo Feng's body wasn't reduced at all. It knew for sure that its opponent's body must have been reduced, but it didn't realize that if the godly body was reduced, it only meant one thing. The percentage of the godly body was so small that it couldn't even recognize it. This shocked Marosa. His opponent had only lost such a small amount of godly power. The body of Firefly True Master would have been consumed completely by now, yet Luo Feng's godly body didn't seem to be reduced at all. Impressive. But he can't do anything about me, Sector Beast Marosa thought. Ha ha ha. Milky Way Horde Leader, is that all you've got? Sector Beast Marosa guffawed. I'm the most powerful creature in Universe Ocean, and that willpower shock doesn't work on me. I won't fight you anymore. Come at me. It separated into 99 pieces again and flew in 99 different directions. Luo Feng didn't chase them. He couldn't catch them. He saw Marosa disappear in the space, thinking as he watched it go. Luo Feng stood in the void space with furrowed brows, deep in thought. Unexpectedly, it still managed to escape. Luo Feng wore a heavy expression. And its power was much stronger than what Nine-Headed Demon Master and Blood Orchid Ancestor told me previously. Seems like, over these past dozen years, it has become much stronger. The worst prediction speculated earlier on has now become reality. By devouring the origins of various miniature universes, it is growing and becoming stronger. Luo Feng felt the pressure. This sector beast only needed to devour the origins of miniature universes to become stronger. If this situation was allowed to go on, the longer the delay, the scarier this sector beast would become. In regards to this battle, Luo Feng hadn't been fully confident of winning right from the very start. After all, his golden horned beast body was the one fighting the sector beast while only equipped with a few common machine-type treasures. His most precious treasures like Shi Wu Wings, Wu Qi God, and Star Tower were all with his remote ocean body and his Mosha body. Even the combination of Universe Chain and Snowy World wasn't enough to trap it. My Divine Eye secret technique was also unable to weaken its power. However, it finally showed its true self when it was unable to find an escape route. That was before it dashed out of Chain Universe. Luo Feng nodded silently. From this, he could deduce that the sector beast had been forced into a corner. Previously, when it had engaged in battle with Nine-Headed Demon Master, even when it needed to escape, it hadn't shown its true self. Any move that required it to reveal its true self in order to execute it must have been an ultimate move. However, Luo Feng was unsure of whether this was the ultimate move of the sector beast or if there were others he did not know of. After all, he had been unable to apprehend it, and it had managed to get away unscathed. There might have been some escape tactics that had not been executed. According to the derivation, once the sector beast surpassed its gestation period and entered its growth period, a threshold within its body would be crossed. Its main purpose was to breed a large number of powerful warriors for battling purposes. Its role was to breed warriors to carry out destruction, similar to how the primal universe bred billions and trillions of living souls. Thus, sector beasts certainly had many survival-focused talents. Will it pull any other strange moves? Luo Feng was worried. After pondering for a long time, Luo Feng shook his head. No matter what, this time around, I managed to force it to reveal its true self, which might mean it is nearing its ultimate limit. And my golden horned beast body's combat power is not enough. When Remote Ocean Body and Mosha Body arrive with the various treasures they carry with them, they will be able to display much stronger combat power. Just with Wu Qi God and Blood Ghost Blade, my combat power soars up 2 levels right away. The other team is really much stronger than Golden Horned Beast Body alone. Absolute dominance. This time, I was able to force it nearer to its ultimate limit. Even if it does have some other weird tactics, the moment my other team makes a move, the various methods it executes progressively should allow me to suppress its weird tactics. I have 90% confidence of being able to apprehend it. Taking one look at the vessel beside him, he flew in right away, while the chain trailing behind him also followed suit. Immediately, the vessel tore through space and sped away. In another area amidst the void space, Sector Beast, Marosa, was on the run. It was escaping with a troubled mind. A Universe Master had unexpectedly executed a stronger willpower attack than it could. One of the types of moves Sector Beast was highly skilled in was the category of soul attacks. Previously, when the 9 true gods, including Firefly True Master, had laid siege to it, with a single soundless scream, everyone, even 9-headed Demon Master, had been affected. In regards of willpower, Sector Beast Marosa had been born with the skill to execute soul attacks, and it was certainly much stronger than 9-headed Demon Master. When it came to the execution of such attacks, it had already attained the level of an eternal true god. But in regards to willpower, Luo Feng was on par with it. Its ability to execute soul attacks, however, was purely a gift of its innate talent. Luo Feng, on the other hand, had undergone the cultivation of one of the strongest secret techniques of the world of Jin, Divine Eye Secret Technique, which enabled him to get his willpower, which was at the level of an eternal true god, to unleash extremely strong power. This was the role of a secret technique. All these secret techniques could enable powers of similar levels to unleash extremely strong power. Like the secret technique of blazing godly power, like the secret technique of willpower. Also, for those who could create profound secret techniques, they were definitely beings from the ancient civilization who stood at the peak of their times, like the 3 generations of ancestors and the godly king of Jin. That Sector Beast might have been talented, but its talent was not as sensational as the Divine Eye Secret Technique, which Luo Feng had successfully cultivated to 6 scrolls. What strong willpower! What a massive godly body! Already able to force me to show my true body. Sector Beast Marosa's eyes flashed with killing intent. That human Luo Feng is definitely the most powerful human I've ever met. He was even more powerful than that 9-headed Demon Master. However, even though he might be more powerful than me, he is unable to handle me. I was still able to escape from his clutches. If I have no reason to fear this Milky Way Horde leader, who should I fear? Sector Beast Marosa gave a hideous laugh. It might have feared Luo Feng, but Luo Feng was unable to do anything to it. Just one battle with this Milky Way Horde leader, and I incurred such a loss, thought Sector Beast Marosa. Next time I see him, I should escape immediately. Within such a short period of time, even if my powers can get any stronger, I will still be at the same level as him. Forget being on par. Even if I am a little more powerful than he is, he will still be able to escape from me. So fighting him would be a total waste of energy. Not worth it. This time, the amount of power I used up through one battle with him was equivalent to the amount of power I can gain from devouring 2 origins of miniature universes, Sector Beast Marosa muttered to himself. If I ever meet him, I should quickly move away. Not only him, but the other powerful 8 figures of the universe ocean, he thought. Whenever I encounter them, I should steer clear. Even if I come face to face with them, I will give way. For now, I shall do my best to devour as many origins of miniature universes as possible to increase my power as quickly as I can. Ha ha. No matter what, at least when it comes to this universe ocean number 1 master, I will be able to face him without fear. With a direct teleportation, Sector Beast Marosa disappeared amidst the chaotic airflow of the void space. This battle had chased away the last trace of worry in Sector Beast Marosa's mind. Although it dreaded having to face Luo Feng, it no longer feared him. It was already convinced that within Universe Ocean, no one was able to kill it. Virtual universe, in a particular plane of space that solely belonged to Luo Feng. In the public square before the palace that was suspended in the starry sky, a group of true gods had gathered. At first glance, there were more than 50 of them. Apparently, other than the human true gods, those who had turned up included the true gods from the Ancestral God School, the Space Beast Alliance, and the various races of the Hong Alliance. Everyone maintained silence. Before them all, Luo Feng sat cross-legged with eyes shut, unmoving. Not a single true god dared to disturb him because they all knew that at that very moment, Luo Feng was engaged in a battle with that sector beast and was giving it his all. Naturally, they did not want to distract him. This battle with the sector beast concerned the survival of countless races within the entire universe ocean. Will Milky Way be able to kill that sector beast? He is sure to succeed. Milky Way Horde Leader is the universe ocean #1 master. They were all transmitting messages to one another. Since that first message transmitted by Sea Badger True Master had informed them all that Milky Way Horde Leader was already at its miniature universe and was fighting the sector beast, the tension had built up across the entire universe ocean. As for the numerous true gods within the primal universe, the majority had rushed over via the virtual universe, including Divine Eye True God and Skeleton Master. They were all using their transmission tokens, waiting to learn the outcome. Sitting cross-legged before the crowd, the white-robed figure of Luo Feng opened his eyes and gently exhaled. Instantly, the large group of true gods looked toward Luo Feng expectantly. Standing at the forefront of the crowd was Primal Chaos City Leader. How was it? Primal Chaos City Leader was quick to ask. The numerous true gods in the surroundings, including the old beast god, were all holding their breath as they waited expectantly. Gently, Luo Feng shook his head. It managed to escape. Escaped? What? The sector beast has escaped. Even Milky Way Horde Leader was unable to kill the sector beast. Then who else can be able to kill sector beast? At merely a single sentence reply from Luo Feng, and various true gods present instantly collapsed. They were all on edge. If the sector beast did not die now, then in the future, it would be their turn to die. All their races would be wiped out. Everyone. Luo Feng looked up. His eyes swept through the crowd as he spoke. Amidst the anxiety and chaos, the numerous true gods quietened down. They did their best to hold back their anxiety and frustrations to hear Luo Feng out. Previously, Nine-Headed Demon Master and others fought the sector beast in a battle. Luo Feng remained seated in his spot as he looked at the numerous true gods before him. This time around, it was my turn to fight the sector beast in a battle. I have discovered some information about this sector beast. Immediately, every single true god present was all ears, listening intently. On top of the various information we discovered previously, Luo Feng said, we can first confirm one point. The sector beast relies on devouring the origins of miniature universes to increase its power. Currently, its power is comparable to Nine-Headed Demon Master and company. Obviously, it is much stronger than before. Even stronger. It has become stronger. The numerous true gods felt their hearts sink. This was a disastrous piece of news. This proved that the sector beast would continue to become more powerful as it fed on more origins of miniature universes. And such an increase would happen at an extremely fast rate. Luo Feng continued. The second piece of bad news. Previously, when the sector beast was fighting Nine-Headed Demon Master and company, its golden giant form was merely a disguise. While I was fighting it, I forced it to reveal its true form. The look of its actual self should be something like this. Luo Feng pointed in midair beside him. Immediately, an image took form showing the appearance of the ugly sector beast body, all black in color. Upon showing its actual body, its two eyes, one on each of its two heads, emitted red light, Luo Feng said. These two beams of red light were extremely powerful. This power can be estimated to surpass the normal combat power it usually displays when fighting by around 2 notches. This was the move that it deployed to escape from me. These are the two main points. The good news is, since we have forced it to show its original form, I suppose it must have reached its ultimate limit. Still, the numerous true gods felt heavy-hearted as they listened on. God, this was truly a nightmare. Through his transmission token, Luo Feng was also transmitting the news over to Divine Eye True Master, Skeleton Master, Juhi Master, Beikai Star Master, and many other great beings. Clearly, all of them felt anxious and unsettled upon hearing his report. This was because both were disastrous pieces of information. One meant that the sector beast could grow rapidly. The other specified that whenever the sector beast took the form of its original body, it would emit red light and then, its combat power would increase by 2 notches. However, there is no cause for worry, everyone, Luo Feng said. I can sense that we have our godly power and sector beast has its strength. Its strength is not inexhaustible. It was in a battle of strength with me. As we used up more and more of our powers, it finally felt the pinch of exhausting its powers in this manner, so it fled. I even sensed that, towards the end, it was slightly weakened. From this point alone, we can deduce that with a great number of true gods combining their efforts or with those who possess a great deal of godly power, such as 9 Remoteness True Master, we will be able to deal with it just by using up our godly power alone. Also, I have several other bodies. The battle with the sector beast this time was fought by just one of my other bodies, which had not even brought along enough strong treasures. Meaning to say, I have not even revealed my strongest power. Luo Feng looked at all the true gods from different races in Universe Ocean. He could tell that they were worried, unsettled, and anxious. He couldn't help but sigh. He couldn't do anything about it. He could tell the weaknesses of sector beasts, and he could say that he hadn't shown his maximum power yet. However, the true gods were still unsettled. Luo Feng understood that those true gods weren't scared for their own lives. Anyone who became a true god wasn't scared of death. However, they still wanted to protect those they cared about. Now, sector beasts were trying to destroy everything. Everyone would naturally panic. Luo Feng shook his head, then stood up and said, everyone, I, Luo Feng, will do my best to kill that sector beast. Then he turned around and entered his palace. Those true gods were all worried, but upon seeing Luo Feng enter the palace, they left as well. Luo Feng had a great reputation, as he was the strongest great being in Universe Ocean. However, the fight between him and the sector beast also spoke volumes. It was only one sector beast that had come out of the nest, yet Luo Feng failed to kill it. When that news was spread, all the races in Universe Ocean would be anxious. Fortunately, Luo Feng had several bodies, and he hadn't even used all his power. Milky Way Horde Leader is only a Universe Master. When he becomes a true god, his power will surge again, and he can totally kill that sector beast. It's only one sector beast, but it's already so powerful. There is a large group of sector beasts in that nest. How are we supposed to fight against them? No wonder the original mind pointed out that Milky Way Horde Leader is the strongest great being in Universe Ocean. Perhaps the only chance for us to survive is Milky Way Horde Leader. Other than Milky Way Horde Leader, we true gods need to cooperate to fight that sector beast. While Universe Ocean was in chaos, in Milky Way Holy Land of the human territory in the original universe, the endless remote ocean was tumbling. After over 1 trillion eras, the remote ocean had expanded to a diameter of 12 light-years. When it had reached this limit, no matter how much power Luo Feng swallowed from the original universe, he wasn't able to expand his remote ocean further. Of course, if he consumed his godly power, he could still expand it. For what it was worth, the volume of the remote ocean had already reached its limit. A being stood above the endless remote ocean, a white-caped being looking into the vast space in the distance. Earth. Luo Feng looked at the space in the distance. Through his control over space and time, scenes kept being transferred to his sight through space and time until he could see the polar system near Milky Way Holy Land. He also saw the blue planet that was his birthplace, Earth. Luo Feng was able to see everything happening on Earth. Children were growing. Teenagers were practicing hard in dojos. Travelers were admiring the dead heroes from the swallowing beast battle in front of their sculptures. His eyes took in all these scenes. "Are you looking at your hometown?" said an ancient voice. Luo Feng took back his sight, and everything became space again. He looked to the side and saw sitting mountain guest with 2 antennae on his head. "Teacher." Luo Feng lowered his head for a second to show respect. "Why are you looking at your hometown?" Sitting mountain guest chuckled and smiled. The teacher and the disciple stood on top of the endless remote ocean, conversing. "I'm anxious," said Luo Feng. "That is why I am looking at my hometown, watching the people there. I feel like if I were back home, then I could be calm." "Anxious? You get anxious?" Sitting mountain guest smiled. "This third disciple of mine is always tranquil, peaceful, and persistent, and you see through everything delusional. It's not easy to make you anxious." Luo Feng said, if it affects those whom I protect, I'll be anxious. Sector beasts are a catastrophe for the entire universe ocean. If we can't get through this, all the races will die out. My home planet and my people will all die, from the great beings to the ordinary people. But I'm not confident that I can defeat them, so I'm anxious. Not confident? Sitting Mountain Guest was shocked. Yes. Luo Feng nodded. I've fought a sector beast. Although I forced it to reveal its true body, I reckon that it still has some techniques it hasn't shown. I'm somewhat confident, but I can't say for sure. Besides, that was only one sector beast out of the entire nest. Thinking about that makes me more worried. Sitting Mountain Guest nodded. He could understand Luo Feng's feelings. You don't need to worry. Sitting Mountain Guest shook his head. The mind of the original universe tried to guide you several times, and it tells you to deal with sector beasts through the three ancestral gods. Apparently, it places its hopes in you, and that's why it did that. As for the current sector beast problem, other true gods can't change a thing. You're the only living chance for the original universe. Luo Feng was stunned. Sector beasts are not easy to deal with. Sitting Mountain Guest shook his head. The original universe represents life and reproduction in Universe Ocean. As for sector beasts, they represent destruction. They are opposites. The sector beasts are at the same level as the original universe, so it's not that easy to kill them. Usually, in each era, sector beasts are able to roam the entire Universe Ocean and destroy all the races. The original universe would be completely destroyed and become an origin. Only after the sector beasts leave will the original universe origin become an original universe again. However, this time, you're here for the sector beast's arrival. There's no need for you to deny it. Although I tried to guide you, and you indeed are lucky, you have great potential on your own. No matter what kind of inheritance it is, it's very demanding when it comes to selection. Without that sort of inborn potential, you can't get an inheritance in the first place. You have great potential, and you're lucky, so you became very powerful. This time, the original universe has an opportunity to live because of you. Luo Feng was dazed. That was right. The inheritance from Duandong and the inheritance from the world of Jin neither had been easy to obtain. With luck, a great being was born. Sitting Mountain Guest chuckled and smiled. And now, when the true gods in Universe Ocean cooperate, they can deal with one or two sector beasts. However, after a while, the sector beasts will keep eating each other, and there would be fewer and fewer of them. Those that survive will be much stronger, and when that moment comes, the true gods won't be able to resist them. That will be the beginning of a real apocalypse. Although I can. Sitting Mountain Guest paused for a bit, then said, but I can't resist the sector beasts either. You're the only chance the original universe has. Of course, you're not strong enough to defeat sector beasts now. He shook his head. When you become a true god, you will be the greatest true god ever born in the original universe. Only after you become a true god will you stand a chance of defeating sector beasts. Of course, although I have said you're the only chance, it doesn't mean you can definitely succeed. If you fail, all the races in Universe Ocean, not to mention the original universe, including the Earthlings, all of them will be annihilated, and none of them will live. Luo Feng nodded mildly. He understood. Even though he could tell that teacher Sitting Mountain Guest was being mysterious, anytime Sitting Mountain Guest talked to him, Luo Feng could sense that he was constantly being admonished by the mind of the original universe. Luo Feng could infer that Sitting Mountain Guest didn't have a good relationship with the original mind. If Sitting Mountain Guest could have actually saved Universe Ocean, the original universe would have asked him for help already. I'll try my best, said Luo Feng. Of course, there's no need for you to be worried, said Sitting Mountain Guest. This is only one sector beast, and there's still a long time before the final sector beast king is born. The power of the sector beasts is far from the pinnacle level. The sector beast that came out this time isn't the most powerful one in the nest. If it was, it wouldn't have left the nest. Your power is enough to deal with the sector beasts at the current level. Luo Feng nodded. For what it's worth, I'll try my best to kill that sector beast, and I'll succeed next time. Sector Beast Marosa became more cautious after his fight against Luo Feng. It kept eating the origins of miniature universes time and time again, but every time a powerful true god approached it, it would immediately run away. Divine Eye Master and the others also encountered the Sector Beast. They used Space Seal against it, but each time that Sector Beast would try its best to run away, and they couldn't stop it. 3 years after Sector Beast Marosa fought Luo Feng, 9 Remoteness Master fought the Sector Beast. The fight attracted the attention of the entire Universe Ocean, and Luo Feng was excited as well. 9 Remoteness Master was a lot like Luo Feng. Both were from the original universe, although they were in different areas of Universe Ocean. This time, when the Sector Beast was swallowing the origin, it happened to be close to 9 Remoteness Master. 9 Remoteness Master was different from other great beings, as he feared from the start that the Sector Beast would disintegrate and run away. 9 Remoteness Master sealed the space first, and then his body became an endless ocean, an ocean with a diameter of over a light year. It was godly power that was endless. It immediately immersed the Sector Beast, who became anxious. It had learned from its slaves that 9 Remoteness Master had the most godly power in Universe Ocean. He could literally consume all the power of Sector Beasts and only lose a small part of his godly power. Sector Beast Marosa immediately broke its body in 2 parts, yes, 2 instead of 99. They flew in different directions so fast that they still surpassed the speed limit of Universe Ocean, even being blocked by the godly power ocean. With that terrific speed, they flew out of the endless ocean in less than half a day. 9 Remoteness Master was indeed fast, but he could only move slowly after turning into an ocean. He could certainly turn back into a humanoid shape and show up anywhere in the ocean, but the Sector Beast had divided in 2, flying in different directions, so 9 Remoteness True Master didn't know which one to chase. Thus, the Sector Beast ran away. However, even though it ran away, its strength was still greatly consumed by the godly power ocean. The Sector Beast made it out, but it was severely damaged by the time it got out. It was quite scared. 9 Remoteness Master was more frightening than Luo Feng. He could literally consume him to death. This video will end here.